Somehow Air-Deraan returned.
That's right. After leaving our home quarantine in a basement under a pelote tree, we are back to talk about a rather poignant episode of, or possibly, Arc of the Clone Wars. I, as ever, am Freddy.
And I, big change, am actually the Vulture and have been him this whole time.
Whoa. From Spider-Man... Homecoming.
Yes, from the scrapped Spider-Man 4 by Sam Raimi.
Yes.
I am Spider-Man Become.
You are Michael Keaton.
Indeed.
But...
And freaking Mysterio, as played by the guy from Evil Dead, is right behind me.
Ah, yes. The fable... This is actually going to be in Spider-Man No Way Home. We just don't know it yet.
Yeah. This is I don't think we've ever gotten to a detour earlier than this.
No, this is the bit... One could say a star detour, which is coming to Disney+.
Is it really?
Yes, it's coming to Disney+.
But it was never released. Why is it coming to Disney+?
Who knows? Who actually knows? But either way, we are not talking about something terrible like star detours.
The dark side is really chill, dude.
Oh, God. Instead, we are talking about the Blue Shadow Virus arc of the Clone Wars.
Yes. One could say arc, one could say 1 hour special of the Clone Wars.
Ooh, one could say that, because it's they go pretty hand in hand.
One could say that because it's true.
Yeah, that is also true.
Yeah, they were released on February 13th, 2009, the day before Valentine's Day.
Aw, isn't that cute? I think we all
Very
know the true Valentine's character in this arc.
What, Nuvo Vindi?
Nuvo Vindi, of course, but we'll get to him.
Yeah, he sure captured our hearts and minds.
Oh, God.
But yes, we will get to him. Before we talk about our favorite crazy scientist, Freddy, let's talk about the segments of this show. What are they?
So, first segment is... I've almost forgotten. Grand Admiral Thoughts.
Where we just talk about the episode in vague, non-spoilery terms. And go on some detours.
Obviously. And then it is Crochet Granite.
Where we speed through the plot of the story and also go on some detours, but this is the only time where we shouldn't.
That is true. And then...
We still do, though.
Yeah, we still do. And then it is the nitty-gritty.
Yes, where we talk about literally everything that does or doesn't have something to do with the show, with the episode, with Star Wars in general, or literally anything.
Literally anything. Detours are actively encouraged. Not for the audience, because I mean we can't hear you, unless you tweet us at Air-Deraan, all one word,
or email us on Air-Deraan@gmail.com and let us feel your thoughts.
And speaking of feeling thoughts, we can feel the moral of the episode in our section Motto Rancisis.
Indeed, which Freddy basically already explained, where we go over the mottos that you can see at the start of every Clone Wars episode and discuss if they fit, if they're deep, or if they're just vague nonsense.
Yeah, is it deep or is it like I'm 13 and this is deep level?
Spoiler alert, it's usually the latter.
Yeah, but considering it is made for younger than 13-year-olds.
Yes, that's fine.
Yeah. And then lastly, but not least, is the BAFTA Award nominated Light Side, yes. Dark Side, and the one in the middle.
The one in the middle, the
Bendu.
BAFTA Award as presented by Mando himself.
Mando BAFTA. Mando
BAFTA. Indeed. What's it, Pedro Pascal?
Pedro
I almost
Pando.
called Giancarlo Despacito.
Oh my
That's a different actor.
Yes. Will he appear in Mando Season 3? Who knows?
No. Will he appear in this episode of the Clone Wars?
Well, you have to wait and see.
Yeah. Well, not non-spoiler alert. It was actually directed.
Not by Giancarlo Esposito.
Well, no, but it was also a person named Giancarlo.
Oh, I was about to say, like, what?
Giancarlo Volpe. That person directed The Blue Shadow Virus, and a person that directed the second part of this special, Mystery of a Thousand Moons, was directed by, brace yourself,
I'm bracing.
Brie Larson.
Brie Larson?
Yeah, short for Brian Larson.
Oh, God damn it. For a second I was like, oh my goodness, that explains it. I'm kidding. But, I mean, yikes.
I think that Larson is also spelled different, but that's...
Yeah, I'm tempted to put her in the thumbnail regardless.
Yeah, the joke was already made.
Yeah, but the last section is going over something we liked, something we didn't like, and something that we just thought was Marge Simpson neat. Saying they're neat.
We literally went for the same thing.
Yeah, I know. Also, we should probably point out that this episode is not recorded in person, and this is in fact recorded remotely.
Yeah, I was going to say, when you said that we're out of quarantine, it's kind of ironic because we're very far apart from each other for the first time since
starting. No, we did the first 2 episodes of Clone Chronicles apart.
Oh yeah, so it wasn't Spunkstone that was our first reunion.
It was Malevolence.
Right, so it was. How crazy it would be if literally everything was tied to Spunkstone.
Oh my god, imagine.
It already is. Oh. Anyway.
Yeah. Anyway, let's get on to our Grand Admiral thoughts for Blue Shadow Virus and Mystery of a Thousand Moons.
Yeah. Freddy, do tell me, since you've been saying this whole time that Blue Shadow Virus is the only arc that can save Season 1 of Clone Wars from being flawless.
Yeah.
Did it do so?
Well, as I've said on multiple occasions, I always remembered Blue Shadow Virus as being the weakest link in Season 1. I remembered it being terrible. I hated it when I was a kid, and I hated it for a long time despite not seeing it. And after rewatching it, I thought it was pretty okay. Which I wasn't expecting at all.
Yeah, like in the most unflattering of terms, it probably was still the low point of this season, I would say.
Yeah.
That being said, it was not bad at all.
Yeah,
it had
definitely
some great stuff in it.
I was thinking, and I'm not sure if I should say this early in the episode, but I was watching it, and even in Mystery of a Thousand Moons, I was saying, I think I prefer this to The Jedi in Mandalorian Season 2. Which is a bit of a controversial opinion.
Look, I definitely wouldn't say that, but, I ranked it a little higher than you.
Yeah.
But, it was just not bad. It had good stuff in it, but... It had some baffling stuff in it. Speaking of BAFTA, this was baffling.
Yeah. I do think that Mystery of a Thousand Moons was the weaker of the 2.
Oh, 100%.
And I think one could say there is an aspect of the episodes that was small in stature that may detract from it, but didn't detract from it as much as I thought.
I completely disagree. I thought that aspect was completely fine.
No, I thought it was fine, but I didn't. It was probably my least. Like, it didn't need to be there, but it was fine. I remembered hating it though, so I was pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, I think what it might be that made the latter half of this a bit weaker was, and why it felt kind of tacked on to the first part, was because it kind of literally was.
Yeah, because the first episode basically wraps up quite neatly. Mm-hmm. And then the second episode starts where it's like, by the way, everything that happened at the end of the first episode just got undone. So...
Yeah. And I think I know why that's the case.
Ooh.
Because, as we all know, the chronological order of the release order and chronological order of the first, at the very least, 3 seasons is very out of whack. But what I didn't know, that the production order is very whack as well.
Yeah, it's like how Downfall of a Droid was one of the first ones they made.
Literally the second thing they ever made.
Really?
The first being one part of the movie.
Why only one part? Was it the end?
Well, kind of. In the first... I think that the first 4 episodes they made were 3 of the 4 of the movie and Downfall of a Droid.
Yeah.
And a new Padawan, the Christophsis part of the movie, was made like halfway or maybe 2/3 through the first production season.
Yeah.
And they kind of had to reshuffle it. Whereas this 2-parter, the first half of it was made round the end of the first production season, and Mystery of 1,000 Moons was the second episode in the second production season.
Why?
In other words, made way later than the first part. And I think that was because they kind of had a space they needed to fill. I don't know if they had to cancel an episode or if they just needed to do something. So they just went back and were like, oh, let's just make Blue Shadow Virus somewhat longer.
Yeah. So it was quite literally just tacked on.
Yeah, very much so.
I think they did, if that is the case, then I think they actually did it the best way they could have.
Yeah.
Because it's not too jarring. Like, it is, like, quite, like, strange, but it's not the worst thing.
Yeah. I think what it was that they just figure out fairly late in production that they had to make a 2-parter for that day for whatever reason, which I didn't track down. And they were like, well, we probably either already aired the last 2-parter that we had, or something like that, and we can't just make a 2-parter from 2 unconnected episodes. We can do this.
Yeah.
Probably knows we already aired it, because there doesn't make any sense that they don't make episodes that quickly. They're not South Park. That literally knocks out an episode every 2 weeks in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
It might be even a week, I don't know. But it's super, super quick. But yeah, something like that.
Imagine if Clone Wars was like that. Imagine if they made Bad Batch like that.
Well, in the South Park style.
Yeah. Oh, no, God, not in that style.
Never mind. I'm not doing a Cartman impression.
I think we've said sort of like our Grand Emerald thoughts, and we could go... Should we go into like what we're actually talking about without like...
Yeah, we probably should at this point.
Because like it's sort of hard to explain without actually saying.
Yeah. We can always come back to it in a nitty-gritty.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so let's jump into Crochet Granite then.
Yes.
You want to do the honors of starting?
Yeah, sure. So this, Blue Shadow Virus starts off with some droids had landed on Naboo, and like they were like found out by the Nubian security force, and they were like, why are the droids on Naboo? Like it's a bit weird, and so they called Padme over to like with obviously Jar Jar Binks to like have a look at everything going on.
And C-3PO, can't forget about him.
Oh yeah, that's true. And so like they're there, and then like the Typho's there too, and he looks into the. They're going to use the tactician droid, his memory banks, to try and find out what's going on. But then Jar Jar, being Jar Jar, like accidentally destroys it.
Yeah, but thanks to the bug that was caught in the droid's chassis or whatever, they still find out where their base is.
Yeah, because the droids were covered in mud, but they were found in grasslands. They were like, what's going on?
And they figure out that it's a medical/lab facility.
Yeah, because the tactician droid said that something about a virus. It's like, what kind of virus?
Yeah, and it soon turns out that the facility is led by a crazed scientist named Nuvo Vindi.
Yes.
Who is recreating the super dangerous Blue Shadow virus. And oh boy, he made it even more dangerous than ever before.
Yes, not before. It only transmitted in. Sorry about that. It only transmitted in the water, but then he made it so it's airborne and also has a nice misty effect.
Yeah, in true Dr. Frankenstein fashion, he did it by striking it with lightning.
Yes, which was pretty crazy. You know, like what his species name is.
Yeah, the Faust.
The Faust. You can't get any more. He's also like, he's got a really heavy like German accent, like stereotypical crazy German scientist.
Yeah, he's Camp German basically.
Yeah, like the only German accent I can do. And then he also has like some very weird mannerisms. He loves the word yeah.
Yeah, the way he laughs is like yeah. He's literally a One Piece villain. Like looking weird, having a weird signature laugh. Like there is a specific One Piece character that's just him, but with horns, and he can turn into gas. Like literally.
Oh.
His name is Caesar Clown.
That's not a cool name. That sounds kind of dumb. Hate to say, sorry.
It doesn't sound cool, but
yeah,
if you're 500 episodes into One Piece, you kind of get it.
You get used to it.
Yeah.
But Nouveau Vindi, or was it Vindis?
Vindi.
Nouveau Vindi also is like he said to Padme when Padme was like, that virus killed billions of people, that's why it had to be eradicated to save people. And then Nouveau Vindi was like, you mean murdered?
Yeah, that's kind of one of the most intriguing things about him. He like values the lives of viruses more than of people.
Yeah, and that's why he loves hanging around with droids.
Yeah, well, as Freddy touched upon, Padme and a lady Gungan get captured by him, and obviously Anakin and Obi-Wan have to be on the scene if she is captured.
No, the Lady Gungan wasn't captured. She was above ground, wasn't she?
I'm pretty sure she was in there.
No, because she went back to Theed to show Anakin and Obi-Wan the way.
Oh yeah, you're right. Never mind. Yeah, Padme was captured.
With C-3PO, probably.
Oh yeah, and then she went back with Ahsoka.
Yeah.
My bad. I watched the first one a few days ago.
But yeah, Padme was like, oh, I recommend sending over Master Kenobi and Anakin. Or General Kenobi and General Skywalker. It's like, subtle.
Well, she said that it's because the relations between the Nubians and the Gungans are a bit tense, but Kenobi is well liked by the Gungans.
Because of Star Wars Episode 1.
Indeed.
That's cool, tie back.
Very cool callback, yeah.
Yeah. So they basically get ready to like launch a big attack on this like secret separatist lab.
They basically take it over. They capture Vindi after some shenanigans.
Yeah.
The virus. Go ahead.
Vindi was going to transmit the virus through bombs.
Yeah, he was basically going to launch a bomb full of virus on every major population hub in the galaxy. Yeah. Or at least in the Republic space. Effectively killing everyone who isn't a separatist, or maybe even more people than that.
I think at that point, Vindi was just like including all living things.
Yeah, he probably had his own goals.
Yeah.
He would probably want to kill like everyone for some reason.
Yeah.
You don't get too deep into his motivation, other than he just has a hard-on for viruses.
But at the end of Blue Shadow Virus, they capture Vindi, they deactivate every single bomb in the nick of time, and everything is A-OK.
Yes, for the rest of the episode.
And then episode 2 begins, and a bomb goes off, and then the virus infects everybody in the base.
Yeah, literally. Including Ahsoka and soon enough also Padme.
And all the clones.
Yeah, including Rex, who's there.
And so Anakin and Obi-Wan are not inside the base, which has been, like, sealed. Thanks to Ahsoka.
They were trying to escort Vindi to, not even to Coruscant, just to the gunship that would take him to a Venator.
Yeah, to Coruscant. So
yeah, they literally just left.
Yeah, so then Anakin and Obi-Wan decided they need to find some sort of antidote. And while Ahsoka, Padme, and all the droids, and all the clones and Rex need to kill all the droids inside the base, because the droids inside the base are going to try and break out.
Which would kill everyone on Naboo, because the virus would get out.
Yeah, exactly. But somehow, Typho found out the antidote.
Yeah, well, there was an outbreak of the Blue Shadow virus ages ago in the galaxy, so they knew about some way to treat it.
Yeah.
But the only way to get the thing that treats it is by going to a planet that is not called Lego, even though my subtitles thought that it was.
Yeah. It's called Iago, spelled with an I.
Yeah. And where do we know this planet from, Freddy, pray tell?
Oh, this is also from episode 1, because Anakin talks about how Spacers saw the angels of the moons of Iago, and he said Padme was as beautiful as one of those angels. Or must be one of those angels.
Must be one of those angels, and one would think that those would be pretty important to his character development, right? Or at least...
Yeah, one would think that there would be more fanfare if one sees one of those angels.
One would think that there would be more to them than literally 1 20-second scene and nothing else ever.
One would think there would be more than just one shot.
Yes, but we will get to that.
So they go to Iago to look for the Riska route?
Yeah, Riska route.
And Iago is basically firmly in separatist space at this point.
Indeed, it's deep in that territory.
Yeah.
And when they get there, it turns out that it's surrounded by a crap ton of debris. And at least one body.
Yeah, which was pretty dark to see, not gonna lie. So, like, loads of spaceships are, like, getting destroyed above Iago for some reason. Oh, there's also, as the title of the episode suggests, Mystery of 1,000 Moons. Iago has 1,000 moons.
Yes, Iago is the world of 1,000 moons. Kind of like either Canada or Poland or Norway is the country of the 1,000 lakes.
I thought it was Finland that has, like...
It's one of those. All of them have been, like, ran over by an iceberg, so who knows?
Reverse Titanic.
Kind of. The point being that when they get to Iago, they're freaking greeted by this kid who reprogrammed, like, a whole bunch of droids to serve him.
Yeah.
How did that happen? Not just any droids, battle droids.
Yeah, battle droids with smiley faces on them.
Yeah. Battle droids with smiley faces, some spare parts from many other kinds of droids, and who also pronounced the planet's name as Iago.
Did he actually?
Yeah.
Oh, God. I didn't pick up on that, but I hate that.
I did.
This guy is called Jabo. Jabo, right?
Jabo Hood.
Jabo Hood. He exists.
Yeah, I assume he is the diminutive thing you thought would be very annoying.
Yeah, I thought he was going to be more annoying, but we'll get to that later. So Anakin and Obi-Wan talk to Jabo Hood, and he's like, oh yeah, the Riska route is at the very bottom of these, like, huge, like, limestone pillars that we build our cities on.
Yeah, down where the huge plants are.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, this is going to be easy. And I was like, oh my god, the plants are giant Venus flytraps and they eat people.
Yeah, and there are huge moth bats as well. But it doesn't end up being that much of an issue.
No, but he said look out for them. So, the Zandu.
Yeah, the Zandu bats or whatever.
Yeah. But they get the route with using a space trowel.
Yeah, well, it's a trowel.
Yeah, which I find so funny. Like, Anakin just picks out a trowel. It just looks like a normal trowel.
It also looks like he was going to fight the plant with it, but nah, he was just there to...
I wish there was an episode.
He just picked up a rock. It wasn't really that much of a digging, but it was probably just for the ease of animation.
Yeah. And, yeah, they bring back the route and to Naboo. That's basically... Oh, no!
No,
I
you're
missed a
forgetting
big
the
part.
very important
A
part.
very important part. They tried to bring back the root.
Yeah, but something is not letting them pass.
Yeah.
A certain ghost.
Ooh, the ghost of let me look at my notes.
I forgot to write it down. Is it Gal?
Droll, the ghost of Droll.
Yes. Some sort of a higher power that hasn't permitted even the 50 best pilots in the galaxy
The 40.
to leave.
Because 40 tried and 40 died.
40 died. Yeah. So much more death in this episode, wow.
Yeah. Well, it is about a virus that killed billions of people almost escaping.
Indeed, and many, many clones, and almost two or three of the main characters.
Yeah, but basically it seems to be like some kind of laser field.
Yeah, that is being shot out of
Every
discs,
single moon.
Every single moon, and the disc that somewhat resembled the Death Star laser.
Yeah, that one's on the...
On Milius Prime, the home world of the Angels.
Yeah.
Which you would think is important, and is implied to be important, but it is not.
Yeah, you see an angel turn up.
Yeah, you see an angel, you see that they're like these luminous beings, but they just turn up to say where they're from, and that's kind of it.
Yeah.
They also do that really weird movie trope where someone is talking about them, then they march in the door from a place where they couldn't have possibly heard the discussion, but they just continue the conversation for like 20 seconds, and then the conversation ends.
Yeah.
And they're never seen again.
That bit kind of sucked. But
that bit was like the worst scene in Clone Wars so far, probably. Going forward as well, maybe.
Maybe.
It was like the worst written scene I've ever seen. That's almost a pun.
But they Anakin and Obi-Wan use their big brains after watching Rick and Morty and want to use the reprogrammed Vulture droids to basically like smash into those laser dishes.
Yeah, to break that whole grid to allow everyone to leave the moon, the planet of Iago.
Yeah, and then they do it.
Yay! And everyone cheers.
Yeah,
and
there's a
big fireworks in the sky.
Yeah,
because all the moons explode.
That is also true. I don't think the moons explode. I think it's just the dishes, right? I hope.
Probably some of the smaller ones would have blown up as well, but yeah, the Milius Prime definitely wasn't destroyed.
Yeah. But if every moon exploded, then it would make at least 2 moons. Then Iago would be the world of like 2,000 moons.
Unless they all very quickly converged on either the planet or one of the bigger moons.
Oof. We can talk how Iago got destroyed by this.
Anakin and Obi-Wan.
Like how blowing up the Death Star should have really crashed into Endor and destroyed it.
And instead it crashed into a very different moon.
Why?
Anyway, they get to the planet and they save everyone at the end of the episode.
Yeah, they save everybody. Like, they go to Naboo and give everyone the treatment. A couple of clones had died, but...
Yeah, and they imply that Jar Jar is going to get blaster lessons.
I think that was a joke.
I don't know, probably.
Well, we can get on to our nitty-gritty. I do want to talk about Jar Jar in this episode, because it made me sad.
This was by far the worst that Jar Jar has been in this show.
Yeah, because, like, as we said in Spunkstone, which no one will ever hear, but that is the best Jar Jar story we have seen.
Up to this point, anyway.
Up to this point, yeah. And even in in Gungan General, he was quite good as well. Unfortunately, all the progress has been sort of destroyed by his introduction at the start of Blue Shadow Virus.
Well, the introduction there was... I was still holding out hope, because even though he did destroy that tactical droid, he did let them know where that base was.
Yeah,
and the droid was starting to, he wasn't cooperating anymore. But everything since then, how he was responsible for Padme getting infected...
Oh, yeah.
Didn't really do anything else.
That's why I think the blaster training thing. So basically,
Yeah.
when they were mopping up the droids in the base, Jar Jar fired a blaster at a droid, and did it bounce everywhere?
I don't even know what happened. I think that Padme just tackled him or something.
Yeah,
but he just fell over.
He was going to I think he would have shot himself because the blaster was bouncing place everywhere.
Yeah, and in process they damaged Padme's
helmet.
Helmet
so she
too,
breathed in the blue shadow virus
and got all veiny. She kind of looked like Ventress later.
Yeah, that's true. So yeah, she got the big blue shadow virus.
I thought that what you were going to say would be even worse, but yeah.
I'm not. No, like how I don't know if other people call COVID the big C, but I do.
Oh, I see. Well, in any case.
Yes, but I think the Obi-Wan recommending Jar Jar for blaster training is like mocking him for accidentally resulting in them getting infected.
Yeah, but he didn't get it.
No, because as is in this episode, Jar Jar's dumb, which is sad. And then Rex is like, I'm not training him. Which
was very close to being his final words.
Oh my, imagine Rex died.
Imagine. Well, he still hasn't.
Yeah. Imagine if Padme died because of friggin'... Imagine Jar Jar is the only survivor.
Oh my god.
Oh. And then he becomes the senator because there's no elections in this time.
That would have made this by far the worst episode of Clone Wars, which technically it still might be.
I think it might be, yeah. But I think Mystery of a Thousand Moons is the worst episode of Clone Wars so far.
Yeah. Blue Shadow Virus was a lot stronger than Mystery of a Thousand Moons, I feel.
I think Blue Shadow Virus...
It had more Vindy, I think it had nicer animation.
Yeah, although...
It ended satisfyingly.
Because Mystery of a Thousand Moons wrapped up very quickly, which is a bit unfortunate, but what can you do?
Yeah. It also had a few very obvious signs that Anakin and Padme might be a bit more than what meets the eye.
Oh my god!
And by that I mean that a lot meets the eye, and no one ever gets suspicious, other than by that one disapproving frown from Obi-Wan.
It was like the most unsubtle thing. I think this is the least subtle they've ever been.
Yeah, because in one scene in a hologram, Padme very nearly says "I love you" to Anakin, whilst Ahsoka
she did think she
literally
was
next to her, and Obi-Wan is next to him.
She did think she was going to die.
That is true, but still, she would have completely, ruined Anakin's life in more than one way.
Or maybe she was not going to finish the sentence on purpose.
Sorry, you cut out for a second.
I know.
She's something on purpose?
I think maybe she didn't complete the sentence on purpose, as in, like, if she just said Anakin, Anakin of course knows that she's going to say I love you.
Mm.
Right?
That is fair.
So, but
what else was she going to say?
Anakin,
Anakin, I really need to tell you something. I'm force sensitive.
Maybe she was going to say, Anakin, I really don't want to die. Which I think Obi-Wan wouldn't be like, oh, this is secret code for they got married in secret on Naboo.
I'm not sure if you got it, but I was going for a Padme impression from episode 9. Get it?
Oh.
No, it's Finn.
It's Finn.
Shit, I mixed them up.
Yeah, it was.
They should be a couple anyway.
They should be Pod Finn. Well, not Padme.
Yeah, Fidme? Doesn't matter. No.
What, Finn and Padme?
No, not a couple. I meant that I was going for a Finn joke when they were going into that quicksand and he was.
Yeah, I got that.
Sorry, I got really tangled up in this. I went to bed at 4 a.m.
Yeah, that's what walking does.
Yeah.
Don't do walking, kids.
Yeah. I don't know if it was this episode or Blue Shadow Virus, but I am getting a vibe that Obi-Wan does know at this point.
Yeah, I think both of them. sort of like had that. I felt like, I think I wrote in my notes like, oh my god, Anakin, you should just like talk with Obi-Wan and he'll be fine with it. Like, he already knows. Come on.
Yeah, because like in the Blue Shadow virus, they have this exchange about being on edge and being nervous about things, and Obi-Wan says that he is also on edge, but he's better at hiding it.
Wink, wink.
Yeah, and like the only time he gives him like a disapproving scowl in Mystery of a Thousand Moons is when he's being like very, very unsubtle in front of, I think, the Jedi, or in front of other important people.
Yeah,
so
that's
maybe
true.
Maybe he just doesn't really mind him being with Padme, but he just doesn't want him to be this obvious about it.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah. Because we do know that, like, by the end of the Clone Wars, Obi-Wan just dropped the pretenses and was like, yes, say hi to Padme for me.
Yeah, I hope you told Padme hello from me or whatever.
Yeah.
But
yeah, that is still either 2 years or 2 years and 45 weeks in the future from now.
Oh, God. For the timeline. I think it's... I think Bad Batch takes place maybe 6 months before Revenge of the Sith, right?
I couldn't tell you.
I don't know.
It's possible because she was visibly pregnant.
That's true.
I would guess she was like 4 or 5 months in.
Yeah, that's true. Well,
and I don't know how long Revenge of the Sith lasts.
I think only a week at most.
Yeah, it's not too long.
I think it's like mostly over a couple of days. That's how I've always interpreted Revenge of the Sith. A lot of people get really angry about this, but
I don't have any like lowest estimate, but it's definitely no more than a month.
I really don't think it takes place. I think okay. I just said I don't understand why people get angry about it, and now I'm starting to like get riled. But I think that is no more than a week. Revenge of the Sith. I can't really, in my mind, I can't really see it any longer. But
yeah,
I do need to check in the Skywalker: A Family at War biography how long it says Revenge of the Sith lasted.
Oh, does it actually say in that book?
It might say. I haven't really had the chance to read it.
Yeah.
So
I am going to ask you about it when you have read it, because I'm really, really interested about in it.
I've read the first chapter and it's very good. My only criticism of it is that I would have liked it if it had fake footnotes in it.
Aha.
Which would have just made it even more like interesting, in my opinion.
Yeah, but you can't really. I feel that's like less of a criticism and more of a. It would have been neat if it had this, because like you can't really. You don't have to get into that. Yeah. It's a very light side, dark side, and a one in the middle kind of a criticism.
Yeah, exactly.
The Bendu. But yeah, freaking Anakin and Padme. What a power couple.
Power couple. That's one way.
Go ahead.
Yeah, but it's not the only girl power in this episode in Blue Shadow Virus from Padme, because there's also Peppy Bow, who never appears ever again.
Yeah, the pink lady Gungan.
Pink lady Gungan with no ears.
I didn't notice that. And I'm never going to look at a picture of her ever again so that I can unsee it.
Yeah, it was pretty unsettling to me, because she had like a single plait, but no ears. So I
do not like that.
Yeah, but yeah, she was pink, and
she's a farmer. She herds those big pig ticks that
the one that Anakin rode.
Yeah.
Are they related to puffer pigs?
They do kind of look like them, but
yeah,
I think that they aren't. Because I don't think there's any indication that they puff up.
No. Or maybe they just
turn
always
blue
puffed up.
very quickly, though, when they die.
That is true, or is that because of the Blue Shadow virus?
It's probably that, but still.
Hence the name.
Yeah. which is a cool name anyway. I'm looking at the episode right now, and the plait are her ears.
They are... Oh my goodness, I don't like that.
Yeah. Or at least it's hair that looks like ears.
Hair that looks like ears is a sentence I've never wanted to... So how do we know that humans in Star Wars don't actually just have hair that looks like ears? Or ears that look like hair?
Oh, I hate that. Also, alternatively, it's possible that female Gungans only have one central ear.
Female Gungans have one central ear.
Because it does look like it's growing out of the back of her head. And it doesn't look like two things overlapping. Is it worse than Twi'lek, than Lady Twi'lek ears?
Or cone ears?
Yeah.
I don't know. Or I don't know, ears that look like hair is just kind of weird to me.
Yes. Rightfully so.
Yeah,
There's
I was gonna
nothing
say, like,
about that sentence that should not be unsettling.
Anakin's Revenge of the Sith hair is actually just his ears.
I mean, what about Togruta? What are the things? Do they have ears under it? Are they the ears?
Ahsoka's just got two massive ears.
I mean, to be fair, if her Leku will, like, wear the way that she gets vibrations into her brain, that would kind of make sense.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think I've ever thought of it too much. Well, no, we've definitely discussed if Ahsoka does have ears.
And she does not have ears.
Not that we can see ever,
but now we
least.
think that the Leku necktails, whatever, headtails, sorry, may be giant ears, like Ferengi ears.
Yeah, I think that Leku is the name for a headtail of any species.
Yeah.
If they are pointing down, if they're pointing up, they're called something else.
Oh, I can't remember.
Me neither, but at least we both know that it's real.
It is.
It doesn't sound like something that should be real, kind of like ear hair.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Anyway, we've spent too much time talking about ear hair.
Yeah, talking about singular things that people have.
Okay.
We have the return of the one-eyed Captain Typho.
Oh yeah.
What did you think I was going to say?
Dicks.
Yes, but Captain Typho's ...
Yeah. No. Yeah, Captain Gregor Typho comes back after his singular appearance in Attack of the Clones, where half the people, including me, originally thought he was just Captain Panaka.
I knew he was different, and I prefer Typho to Panaka.
Especially now, because we know that that Panaka turns out to be not great.
Yeah, not great, but he dies in canon, so it's fine.
Yeah.
He dies in canon before we can tell Palpatine that Leia looks like Padme.
Good riddance, apparently.
Indeed. But I would like to see more Typho. I can't remember if he's in more Clone Wars episodes, but I feel like the fact that his model is quite well made sort of implies that he might appear again.
It does, but I don't believe that we have at least much more that takes place on Naboo.
Yeah.
And I don't think he ever leaves again.
But why would they bother to because they did all of the Nubian security force thing. They all look great. They did that big painting of Theed, which looked amazing.
Probably because they reused that 3 times in those 2 episodes.
That is just true.
But it does look amazing.
It does look great. So it would be a shame if we never... No, we definitely do go back to Naboo in the Reiko Hardeen episodes.
Remind me, who's Reiko Hardeen again?
The box ones.
Oh, yeah, that Reiko Hardeen. Yeah. The first canon appearance of balls.
Oh, yeah, that is true.
Well, not appearance, but,
Imagine.
No, I don't want to. The first appearance of balls is the first time we see an Aqualish.
Oh... So we've got. So that is that his mouth, the Aqualish's mouth?
I think so. I think they're like tusks, or kind of like it's like a spider face.
So they're
mandibles,
tusks,
maybe.
They're tusks and mandibles that look like balls, and
Yeah.
and Ahsoka has has ears that look like necktails.
Yes, and Lady Gungans have hair that look like ears that look like hair.
Exactly, we're figuring it out.
Star Wars anatomy is cursed.
Yeah.
Was it you or Millie that I talked about Anakin having two penises? Probably Millie, come to think of it. I think she was just saying we have no confirmation that he doesn't.
I think we've had a conversation on the podcast when we said that Darth Vader has none.
Yes, we definitely did say that.
We said that in the iceberg one. We had a lengthy conversation about Chad Vader versus Virgin Shmi.
Yeah.
And we didn't even mention Chad Vader, the online series.
Indeed. That is one of my greater regrets in life.
Same. Yeah, it's a very 2000 series.
Probably. I don't think I've ever seen it, to be honest.
Yeah.
But yeah, Typho. Well, regardless of if Typho does or doesn't come back, there is a character that definitely doesn't come back, that has like one of the least good models, especially for a human, that I've seen.
Is it the Queen?
No, it's the kid.
Oh, yeah, that model's terrible.
Jabo. He looks literally like something from one of those cursed CGI movies from the mid-2000s.
He looks like... Have you seen... there's a film called Adam and the Invisibles, and he looks like the main character from that when he's like shrunk.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen it, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah,
film.
or like Chronicles of Gaia, or one of those.
Yeah.
Or was it like Durgo, or not Rango, but something that also has like lizard people?
I'm not sure actually.
It doesn't matter. It's like one of those that like most people haven't seen.
There's Epic as well. That's like that kind of thing.
Yeah. Oh, or Disney's Dinosaur.
Oh, he looks like the kid in The Good Dinosaur, doesn't?
No, the kid in The Good Dinosaur looks way better than him.
In The Dinosaur. I thought in The Dinosaur they were monkeys.
Yeah, they are. In Good Dinosaur, there is a singular human.
Yeah. The Dinosaur was a weird film, though. I remember that.
I remember really liking it as a kid, but, you
Same.
know, dinosaurs, of course I did.
Well, I didn't like dinosaurs when I was younger. I thought they were boring.
Whoa!
I know.
But you did like Dinosaur, the movie.
I don't really remember. I remember the start of it when it's at night and the monkeys are all in the forest with the dinosaur.
Yeah, and then the meteors come.
Yeah. Is that... I can't remember the fight. It doesn't matter. But the point is...
It really doesn't matter.
Jabo Hood, who is not from the dinosaur...
No. He's not even from Star Wars Clone Wars, even though he gave me the vibe of like... He kind of felt like a proto-Ezra to me, even though he had nothing to do with him.
Yeah, he looks like a background model.
Yeah, he's kind of low poly, but not really. He's weird.
And apparently, I think I watched a behind the scenes for this episode when it came out on StarWars.com, and they said like how Jabo Hood is meant to reflect Anakin when he was a child.
Which I really do get, because they connect pretty quickly about reprogramming droids.
Yeah, they talk like Anakin guessed the way how Jabo reprogrammed them all en masse.
Yeah. It doesn't really go anywhere though.
No.
I feel like Iago would have really benefited if it was its own two-parter, or at least its own episode.
Maybe, but I feel like they didn't have much time to really invest in Iago.
Yeah, that's the problem. Like, it would be even better if it wasn't like tied into Blue Shadow virus, because the way it was, Iago was literally just like 1/4 of that story.
Yeah.
So they literally had time to flesh out none of it.
Even though I thought Iago played a much more prominent part. I think a couple of weeks ago I was quite shocked when you told me that the Iago episode was the second half of Blue Shadow virus.
It really does not feel right.
No.
Yeah, and even like how I told you last episode about the webcomic on the StarWars.com.
Yeah.
This one, well, there was none of it that related to Iago, because it was a two-parter, so all of it was just about the Blue Shadow virus, I think. Or maybe the invasion of Naboo. I haven't actually read it because, as far as I know, it doesn't exist on the internet.
Unfortunately. It might be on archive.com somewhere.
Yeah. But, speaking of that same comic, there is an issue of it where you do go back to Iago.
Whoa. When?
All the way in, I think in season 2, they go back to Iago because a certain IG unit called Helios 3D runs there for some reason.
Who was Helios 3D?
It's a bounty hunter.
Oh.
Does that ring more of a bell?
Maybe.
It's I think it's one of the ones that will do something or another fairly soon in the Clone Wars time, but not fairly soon on Air-Deraan time.
Yeah, but considering we got Bad Batch just around the corner.
Yeah, because literally we're doing one more episode of Clone Wars, and then we're doing Bad Batch for at least 15 weeks.
Yeah, which is insane. That's a long time.
That's more than a half of On Air-Deraan so far.
Oh my god, Bad Batch. I mean, I'm happy.
It's more than how much we've done of Clone Wars.
Yeah, I'm happy because I hope Bad Batch is good, but if it's not, then whoops.
And I really hope that Omega isn't a female Django.
I swear to God, I'm actually seeing a lot of prominent Star Wars like YouTubers like say like, oh yeah, this is a cool idea. I'm just like, I think this is gonna happen, and I'm just like, no, this shouldn't happen. This is terrible.
It would be a cool idea if Omega wasn't white.
Yeah, and like incredibly white.
Yeah, because spoiler alert. If you didn't know, freaking Tamara Morrison is Maori. He's not white.
Yeah.
Don't make white clones of him. I know that some of the people in the Bad Batch are already like very pale.
No, only Echo is because he had been like tortured and had not seen the sun.
I think that is it Hunter that's the sniper?
That's Crosshair.
Crosshair. I think he is also quite pale, but they're not white.
Yeah.
And they do have like slightly different features, but Omega just doesn't look like Django,
and she's blonde.
Even if they are a girl, which we still don't know, even though they're pretty female coded. I just don't want that to be what they are.
What would you do if like the Bad Batch trailer came out and instead of Omega, it was J-Bo Hood?
I would not know who he is.
That is true. I would have forgotten because J-Bo Hood looked different to how I remembered him.
Although he does kind of look like a young Boba.
The young Boba model is way better.
Oh, of course. But they don't look too dissimilar.
Yeah. Would you like to see Daniel Logan reprise young Boba in live action material? I
wouldn't mind it at all.
Yeah.
Young Boba is kind of maligned, but I really don't mind him.
I really like it's not really spoilers for quite a while, but I really like young Boba in the Clone Wars. So, and he's voiced by Daniel Logan, I'm pretty sure. All the young clones are voiced by him.
He gets a little clowned at some points. I think in Dark Disciple, spoilers for a book. It's not like you've ever read a book, am I right? Yeah, he gets like kind of clowned by like the other bounty hunters, but like he's like a kid, of course he would. He's not going to be like the stone cold killer that he is in other things when he's like 12.
Yeah, exactly. So
yeah, because like he's literally like 12 years old in this time, right?
Yeah, because he was born at the same time when the Phantom Menace was set.
Was he?
Yeah, because that's 10 years before.
Is that when Sancho Diaz does his thing?
Yeah, Cypher Diaz did his thing. Sancho Diaz and Jango Fett would have been recruited, and then the clone production would have started, and then Jango's only stipulation is to have a son, and so hence Boba would have been made.
Yeah. Imagine how different the galaxy would be if the template for the clones was Dengar.
Dengar, oh my god. Imagine if it was Camp Dengar from Robot Chicken.
I don't think I remember him too much, but I just know that he has toilet paper all over his head.
He does.
Imagine if it was Oppo Rancisis.
Ooh, and then the clones would have easily won the Clone Wars.
Of course. One of them would have been enough.
Yeah.
Just one Ultra Instinct Oppo.
Ultra Instinct Oppo. I was just thinking though, it's like kind of wholesome that all Django wanted was to be able to raise his son.
Yeah, it's really wholesome. He is, after all, a simple man trying to make his way in the universe.
Yeah, that was his main payment. I mean, I'm sure he did get paid money, but like he also wanted a son.
Yeah.
I don't think Django Fett's an incel.
I think it was just infertile.
I think that, yeah, and I think in Legends his wife died.
It's possible.
Before they had any children, so...
Yeah. And I don't know what Mandalorian / whatever moon he's from culture is, but it's possible that they're kind of like swans, only have one partner for life.
That's true. They're not, yeah, not like in a biological way, like what is it, penguins or something?
Swans.
Swans, yeah. Sorry, I missed you hearing that. I didn't.
Sorry, it's fine.
Mandalorians are biologically like swans. The Swandalorians.
Ah, nice. Most people are bees except Mandalorians who are swans.
Oh my, the secret history of Star Wars.
We should add that to the Air-Deraan deep lore iceberg.
Yeah, so Mandalorians are swans, and therefore, Boba Fett can still have the robot feet.
Yeah, because swans have feet as opposed to bees that don't have any legs whatsoever and are just floating blobs with wings.
That's not what I meant.
That's how bees work.
I meant like bees have more than 2 legs.
So?
I mean, unless...
So did Darth Maul for a bit, spoilers.
Oh, that's true. Okay, maybe my point was dumb. But anyway...
Maybe not dumb, but I just don't understand.
Yeah, but anyway, swans are Mandalorians. Mandalorians
That's
are swans.
canon.
That's canon now. How do we get to this point?
That's a very good question. Through Omega.
Yeah.
But I don't know how we got to Omega. Oh yeah, by Helios 3D.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, which is the only other time that... Well, it's Legends now, but it is the only other time that anyone goes back to Iago.
Yeah, which is kind of weird considering it is mentioned, in episode 1.
Yeah, you would think that Iago and angels would be really freaking important.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
Literally, this is all that we know about them. And also that their species is called angels, but only like colloquially. The actual name of their species is Diathym.
Serious?
Yeah, but I don't know where that's from. Probably some source book.
Yeah, that's kind of strange though, but I mean...
Yeah, and the angel is not even named.
What, the angel in the episode?
Yeah, there is no link to them in the episode Wikipedia page.
Why did... I guess they had to include an angel though, because you can't go to Iago and not include the angels.
But why go there in the first place?
So I want to say about Iago. So like Iago was under Separatist control.
Mm-hmm.
But then they left.
Yeah, they basically ousted all the angels from Milius Prime to put that big laser net around the whole system.
Yeah.
But why?
Because Iago is the only place in the galaxy where you can get the Riska root or whatever. And which is the cure for the Blue Shadow virus. So I think they put the net there in order to stop people from getting the root.
Why not just destroy the flower? Why create such an elaborate plan?
Because
and then
you
leave?
can't destroy the... Like, imagine going to, the supreme authorities on Earth and saying, oh, yeah, you need to destroy all dandelions. That's going to be pretty hard. It was probably
enough.
easier for like a space-age civilization to stop people from getting off the planet than to destroy every single one of those plants.
That is a fair point, but like people have been gathering there seemingly forever, like long enough for the reason why they can't leave to become a myth.
No, but they can't have been because it was put there by the Separatists. Surely.
Well, yes, but the Quarren guy, he was like, oh no, it's definitely a ghost.
But what
And
if
everyone believed him. Like, would they do that if they were around when separatists built that system?
Well, what if Droll was originally the protector, like a protecting spirit of Iago, and they think that the separatists killed it, hence it became a ghost?
It's feasible, but I'm just starting to think that this episode was just all around badly written.
I don't know.
Thank you, Brian Larson.
Thank you, Brie Larson.
Yeah, short for Brian.
Like, again, like, why was the separatist lab on Naboo?
Yeah, surely you would want to put it somewhere that would be harder to find. Like, put it in an asteroid.
Put it literally anywhere.
Just make it put it literally anywhere other than... Also, that must have been built in like a matter of weeks. Because how long was the second invasion of Naboo? We don't know. But it couldn't have been that long.
Well, I think it's implied that they were there longer than they thought. Like, they only found 3 droids just by chance.
Must be. But I'm pretty sure that they literally that the opening thing literally said invasion.
Well, I think it's implied that there might that they think there must be an invasion going on. I don't, because they say that they're worried that there will be an invasion, like in dialogue, like at the start of the episode.
It's possible. It's possible.
I do want to say, like
the more I think about this whole arc, the less I like it, to be honest.
I don't mind it still, but I like how when the Queen was talking about like when they recovered the destroyed battle droids, she said to Padme, the security force that captured these people, these droids, preferred to shoot first and ask questions later. And Typho was one of those, and he is standing right there.
Yeah, I think he's literally the one who shot the droids.
Yeah, so it's like a bit of a slant against him. Like, he's literally there, Queenie.
Yeah, Queen, what was her name? Queen with a very, very thick accent, which is strange for a Nubian.
Is she the same Queen as in episode 2?
Queen Ni Yutni. I don't think she is.
What I do like, though, is that, the movies and also the episodes set on Naboo strongly establish how Naboo is quite a diverse planet in, like, almost every way. Like, accent-wise. Like, there's no singular accent for Naboo, which is quite interesting. In my opinion, at least.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. Although, I don't think it's accent-wise diverse enough to, like, not make the Queen stand out like a sore thumb. At least it did to me.
What do you mean? What if there was a Queen of, like, Earth, and they had, like, an Australian accent? You're not going to be like, oh my god, this sounds nothing like...
Well, yes, but Star Wars doesn't work like this.
Well, I mean, clearly it does. It was in the episode.
But single biomes, single accents.
Well, we've never seen the single accent. Like, it's never we've never really seen the single accent. We've never even seen the single race thing. When people say there's a single race thing, it's always disproved.
Yeah, the universe is more diverse than people think.
Yeah,
or some people
put that on a
care to
t-shirt,
admit.
Kathleen, please.
Yeah, Force is diverse.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool.
Yeah. Hopefully no one would be able to argue with that, because that's literally true in every metric.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of diversity, actually, I thought it was interesting how on Iago there was a large population of Ithorians.
I always like to see an Ithorian and their dual mouths.
Yeah, there were quite a lot of them.
Yeah, there were also Quarren, there was a Nikto or two. By the way, did you enjoy how... that Quarren basically just emerged from a pile of trash to talk to him about a droll. Yeah. And then in that big board meeting, it kind of looked like he was like the mayor or something.
Yeah, which was like, what? Like the town bum is like the mayor, the head of the council. Which,
that whole episode was just so baffling to me.
Yeah.
That's also the same scene when the angel shows up.
Yeah.
For
it
a
was
second.
kind of odd. Look, yeah, this arc, I would say, especially Mystery of the Thousand Moons, has some of the like least good writing of this season so far.
Yeah, I would like to say that it's probably like the show low, but I can't say that because I haven't seen the rest of the show since it came out.
Yeah, there's some episodes I keep saying this, there's episodes I don't like, but then if I rewatch them I might like them again. Like like Blue Shadow Virus.
Blue Shadow Virus was good. Like,
yes, it was.
Other than the Jar Jar that's more in line with what people expect from him than from what he can do.
Yeah.
And even then, he was he was okay in Blue Shadow Virus. It was in Mystery of a Thousand Moons that he was really bad.
When he just basically killed Padme.
Basically.
But in Blue Shadow Virus, you've got a cool assault on the lab. Like, I thought that was a really cool action.
Yeah,
scene.
you have troopers and Jedi descending into the lab, bombing with thermal detonators from gunships, which I thought was a bit strange, but why not?
Yeah, it's still
they're
cool.
bombs, so why not?
Well, thermal detonators are meant to be very dangerous.
Yeah, you had droidekas zooming on like a tube-shaped hallway, so they kind of looked like Hot Wheels or something.
It's fun though.
Yeah.
And of course,
you had so much cool stuff with Dr. Vindy.
Yeah, Dr. Vindy himself.
He was so fun in that episode.
Yeah.
Like, there was so much
Yeah.
more high-pitched, but basically that.
Can't do the high pitch.
Yeah. And he had so much like moody lighting, and there was so much like he was very Frankenstein-esque with all the lightning around him. He was so fun. He is like another thing that I would expect like Legends to be full of. But there's literally zero content about him in Legends.
Yeah, apparently he was mentioned in Catalyst.
I was hoping that I would surprise you with that.
Oh, sorry.
That's fine. I can't blame you from doing your research. But yeah, he was mentioned for Catalyst, him and Lock Durd.
Lock Durd was mentioned in Catalyst.
Yeah, in the same breath, because Dr. Vindy and Lock Durd were proposed as like a hostage swap with the Separatists.
Really?
Do you know with whom?
No. Poggle? No. Wait, who?
No, they were supposed to be swapped for Galen Erso and his family, which makes sense because it's in Catalyst.
Galen Erso and his family were captured by the Separatists.
Yeah.
Whoa, I need to read that book.
It's okay.
Yeah.
It also gives you a specific, I think it's diameter of the Death Star trench. Not diameter. How, I think it's either diameter or how long it is. I don't remember if it was unfurled.
Well, there were several trenches there. You could see them on the model.
Well, the main trench. Like the main belt of the Death Star.
Oh, the belt.
Yeah, like the equator.
You see, like, Star Destroyers docking in that.
When?
In Rogue One.
Huh. I should rewatch that movie for many reasons.
For many reasons.
For that specifically.
There's somebody on... I saw somebody on Twitter that rewatches Rogue One every day.
Interesting choice, but why not?
Yeah. There is also a podcast that watches Rogue One every week. No, I think it's every month, actually. But and then they do a podcast talking about a new thing they found.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
It reminds me of that podcast, Worst Idea in the World, where they watched Grown Ups 2 every week for several years.
Why?
It's the worst idea in the world. It's what it says on the cover. I think they switched to a different movie later.
Yeah.
And then they made, I think, a Christmas tradition of watching Paul Blart Mall Cop 2 with, like... You know how some people watch like Wizard of Oz while playing Dark Side of the Moon?
Yeah, or the start of The Force Awakens playing Dark Side of the Moon, as we've established.
Yeah, they did that for Paul Blart Mall Cop, and it kind of worked.
Yeah, but every time I hear that, I'm like, no, it probably doesn't, because The Force Awakens one doesn't work, and people say it does, and it doesn't.
This was told to me by our mutual friend Toby, and he showed me like a video of a thing that like those people explaining how it works. So I don't know. It's not like I cared that much.
Like just music.
Show of hands, who genuinely cares about Paul Blart Mall Cop 2?
Yeah.
to be fair, like our viewership base isn't like the widest.
I don't know. We get substantial. Well, for the most part.
Yeah, we get stable viewership.
I think if you we've got at least 7 viewers on Podbean alone.
On most episodes, yeah.
No, but I mean, if you divide everything by the amount of episodes, there's 7 viewers.
This is little inside baseball, but on Podbean, we currently have 177 downloads over 23 episodes.
178 now.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
So have we had three downloads today, then?
Yeah, seems it.
Nice.
Not complaining.
It was 2 just before we started. Very fun. That being said, how did we get here?
Talk about Dr. Vindy and how he was in Catalyst.
Yeah, and he was also in Lego Star Wars 3, The Clone Wars.
Was he?
Well, they made this arc, or at least the Blue Shadow place, the lab, into a level. That was kind of like the only lore implications that I was looking for that I found. That at least, as if that game can be believed, Dr. Vindy was working directly under Ventress. But, that's very much not canon.
Yeah.
It might be, but I don't know.
Yeah. We were saying earlier how it seemed Dr. Vindy was working with his own interests in mind. But I think he was employed by the Separatists still to make this virus, to remake the virus, rather.
Yeah.
And it seemed that while he wanted to make it, be able to spread everywhere, the Separatists made sure that they had access to the only source of, the cure.
Yeah. Were we told specifically that it was the Separatists who put that in place? Because as far as I know, all we know is that it was in Separatist space.
And
it was...
Think about it, how would the Separatists be able to leave?
I'm not saying that they didn't leave. I'm saying that maybe it wasn't them necessarily who put it in place as much as it was Palpatine, straight up, ages ago.
Yeah, but the Separatists still left Iago, and they didn't blow up. They only started blowing up after the Separatists left.
Probably.
Hence the 40 tried and 40 died, which is the only thing I don't hate that Jabo said.
I don't hate things that he says. I don't hate Jabo. He was fine.
He is fine. He had a droid that was a radio, which is kind of cool.
And it played reggae music.
And
that's at least what my subtitles said.
Anakin, destroyed a lot of them.
18.
18, yeah.
Yeah, he counts them.
What kind of weirdo is Anakin that counts every kill?
Freaking Gimli and Legolas do it, so why not him?
True. Are they on the same level?
But my thought process with why it's specifically Palpatine, I thought that this might be an alternative to the Death Star if that didn't work out.
Maybe, but Palpatine how much did Darth Sidious have an influence in the Death Star's creation by the Separatists?
Who even knows? Because how much of it was a Geonosian project? How much of it was Dooku? Was any of it Grievous?
No, because
Probably
the
not.
Geonosians gave the plans to Dooku in Episode 2.
Yeah, but we don't know if they were already working on them together, because at that point they were already making Separatist droids.
Yeah.
And Dooku was on Geonosis. Who knows, who originated that idea?
Yeah. It's kind of confusing, and it would be nice to get more tie-in novels with the prequels, but I kind of doubt it will happen anytime soon.
Yeah, most of the tie-ins we get is original trilogy era and sequels, right?
Yeah, even though those are, at least the original trilogy is pretty fleshed out. It's most of the questions from the movies either don't need answering or have been answered satisfyingly or overly answered at times now. We don't need to know everything about the original trilogy, but there's some things in this prequel trilogy that are just you have to assume things, and there's no actual answer yet. There's no actual answer, as you said, with the Death Star. We don't know.
I don't remember if there was any in the Legends, but I don't think there was.
It's how we don't...
Or there were too many.
Yeah, I think probably too many. We don't really know if the Jedi knew that Dooku was the head of the Separatist movement until episode 2, because they said in episode 2 that Dooku was like an honourable man still. Like, were they aware that he was the head of the Separatists at that time, or did they not know?
Who's to say?
Who's to say? Maybe us if we write the next book.
Well, maybe not the next book, but who's to say that we never will?
Well, yeah, who's to say?
Who's to say? Disney, probably.
Yeah.
Because if they listen to any of our episodes, they will know that we should not be allowed anywhere near canon.
Yeah, they'll give us a robo-lobotomy for talking about bees and stuff. When we retcon Thrawn to be a blue bee, I think that will be the point where they just want to cancel us.
Yeah, like, we would be pushing it by introducing female Gungan Jedi who canonically only has one central ear at the back of her head that looks like hair.
Yeah, that would be the bit too far.
Yeah. And then we would make Boba Fett go back in time to become Luke's mum.
Oh.
Actually, he wouldn't have to, would he? No, he would.
He would still have to go back in time.
Yeah.
Because he's not going to become Luke's mum at 12 years old.
Yeah, I would hope not.
Yeah. What have we done?
Created something that should be cut out of the podcast, but I probably won't be bothered to do it, so.
Fair.
Let's move on from cursed Boba Fett stuff to something else.
To something else? Whoa.
Did you find it strange how one of the first questions that C-3PO asks the tactical droid is about tales of his medical heroics, even though they don't know anything about any labs at that point?
I didn't pick up on that.
Well, I did, and do you know why it happened?
Why?
Because that was not supposed to be a tactical droid in the script.
Was it not? Was it supposed to be a medical droid?
It was meant to be a tripedal medical droid, like one of the ones that you see in episode 3 when Darth Vader is being assembled.
Why did they change it then?
I do not know. I just know that they did. And that was meant to be the reason why C-3PO knows to ask about medical stuff, as opposed to just assuming that there is a separatist lab.
That's kind of strange, but I think, oh well.
Similarly how in Hidden Enemy Among Us, like, people talk to Cody when they're meant to talk to Rex and vice versa.
Yeah.
And sometimes even people who aren't either of them.
Yeah. That was kind of a bit unfortunate for Hidden Enemy, considering how it was quite a strong episode.
Mm-hmm. Oh, another blunder in Blue Shadow Virus. When I don't remember what the context was, but when something bad happens around Jar Jar, he says, "This is bomb-bad."
Yeah.
Which means great, but he says it in a context where it's meant to mean bad.
I did write that down because that annoyed me.
Yeah.
Because it goes against, like, in Bombad Jedi, he was a Bombad Jedi. That means he was a good Jedi.
Yeah, and Bombad Racing is like great racing.
It's not bad racing. I think it's a simplified version of Bombad.
Which really does lead me to think, again, that like Jar Jar's speech pattern and most of that speech was Ahmed Best and not the script.
What in Bombad Jedi?
Everywhere that is voiced by him.
Yeah.
Because even in Gungan General, which... No, that's Dooku Captured. Which is the first time they replace him as the voice of Jar Jar. We kind of picked up on his like voice pattern being a bit different.
His mannerisms and that kind of stuff.
Yeah. And here, obviously, he uses Gungan words incorrectly.
Which makes me sad.
Yeah. But then again, that might be the writer's fault.
Yeah. But the new voice actor for Jar Jar Binks, I don't like.
He's like serviceable, but he's nowhere near Ahmed
his
Best.
voice is too high pitch. I don't know.
He's just not great.
Yeah.
But speaking of voice actors, unless you have more to say about Jar Jar,
I don't think so.
Do you know who voiced the angel?
No.
It was Catherine Tabor, aka the voice of Padme.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, isn't that fitting?
Yeah, very, very fitting. I thought it was a nice touch.
Yeah, I was going to say Natalie Portman, but then I realised, probably not.
I mean, yeah, that would have... I mean, if they got Samuel Jackson...
That was for
the movie anyway. Yeah.
Imagine
and
if
they... Yeah.
Yeah, imagine if they also got, like, Hayden Christensen for the movie.
Oh, that would have been so much worse.
Would it have been, like, is it genuinely Hayden Christensen, or is it the writing and direction?
I hear that it's mostly the direction.
Yeah, because, like, Ewan McGregor is actually not the best in the prequels still. But he is a good actor, so it's not his fault.
He's at least trying to put, like, some gravitas in the lines, even though it doesn't always work out.
Yeah, it's like how Samuel L. Jackson, it's not his fault that Windu has some, like, weird... I do prefer the voice actor, the normal Mace Windu voice actor in Clone Wars to Samuel L. Jackson in the Clone Wars movie.
Yeah, because Sam Jackson is just not a voice actor. It's just not something that's in his skill set.
Yeah, no offense to him.
Yeah, he's great, but he's not a great voice actor.
Yeah, and whenever I imagine Mace Windu speaking, I always think of the Clone Wars one now. So
I think I do too.
Yeah, I did want to say though, like about Vindy's death wish in the was it the end of Blue Shadow Virus or at the start of Mystery of a Thousand Moons?
It would have been the end of Blue Shadow Virus.
Yeah, it was like the bombs are. I wrote down this quote. Yes, the bombs going off, and we're all going to die. And then like a couple of seconds later, it's like yeah, die. And he's talking about himself and everyone else. And it's like, what? What is that guy?
He's just meant to be like a stereotypical. Have you played or in any way consumed like the Wolfenstein reboot?
I've seen some parts of it. Yeah.
Yeah, he's meant to be like the stereotypical mad Nazi scientist, which is kind of obvious. Who cares little about anyone's life, including his own. He just wants to make some mad creations, and he in particular has a hard-on for viruses.
Yeah.
I don't think there is much to dig into there, because he's not too well written, but at least he's fun as a villain. And I'm very sad that he doesn't come back.
What if he comes back in Mandalorian Season 3?
Oh, as one of Empire's new cloners?
Or as one of their doctor people?
Yeah. I was actually thinking maybe, because the Faust species, they kind of look like an even more evil Kaminoans.
Yeah.
Even though we've established Kaminoans not very cash money as they are as well as they are.
Yeah, pretty unepic.
Pretty unethical and unepic. And pretty Kunky Monty.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Faust kind of look like a more obvious version of that. So if they got like Dr. Vindy to be like Dr. Pershing's mentor or something, that would be pretty fitting.
I don't think Dr. Pershing's actually evil, though. That's the only thing.
Yeah, he works for whoever has a gun pointed at him.
Yeah, it seemed like he probably was... I'm imagining like he was a medical student who was sort of like forced to join the Imperial medicine stuff. Yeah. And then once the war ended, he was basically... His job went under Moff Gideon or under whoever, and so he like kind of had to, because otherwise he would be, because I imagine that the Empire would have like desertion measures for not only like the military, but they would extend that into their bureaucracy and their like civilian positions too.
100%.
So like if you desert your post as a administrator, as a clerk, as a doctor, you're gonna get shot. I can 100% see the Empire doing something like that.
Yeah.
So
like 100%. Like Dr. Pershing may not like enjoy being evil. He may not like literally have like evil thoughts in his mind, in his heart.
Yeah.
But he's way too spineless to do anything to rebel against it.
It seems that way.
Yeah.
Let's go back to the Cassian Andor revival tour.
Yeah, like literally, like Dr. Vindy would make like for the perfect Operation Paperclip person.
Oh my god, imagine if we like see like in Mando season 3, like he sees New Republic officials and medical officials to look after him, and then we just see Dr. Vindy in the background. It's like, oh no.
Yeah. Let's take back Mandalore.
Oh god.
Imagine if he replaces Cara Dune.
Oh, would that be better or worse? I think it would be better.
Maybe.
At least Dr. Vindy's got a catchphrase.
What is this? An objective opinion?
Oh my. I can't think of any Cara Dune quotes. I'm actually trying. It's like,
yes,
yeah,
the little green guy.
Yeah, the little green guy.
Yeah, you probably shouldn't wear masks. Yeah, let the virus spread some more.
Oh. Yeah, I left my position as a separatists and then became a New Republic Metaglyph. I can't do it. There's too many words.
Such a shame that Mace Mayfeld died on It's not Marathon. I don't know where it was.
Neither, I forgot.
I watched it like 3 days ago.
It's good.
It is. I rewatched most of Mandalorian Season 2 a few days ago.
Ooh, including the Jedi?
Including the Jedi.
I'm sorry.
I didn't love it, but I thought that like some of my biggest problems with it were not too different in the other episodes of Mando, to be honest.
Yeah, fair enough.
Like some of the McClunky writing, like especially I thought was especially bad in The Heiress. But that's very much not the point of this episode.
Speaking about things that are a bit McClunky, but are also some other things that are good, should we move on to our light side, dark side, and the one in the middle, the Bendu?
No, Freddy, we shouldn't.
Oh.
Because first, it's time for Motto Rancisis.
Yes, Motto Rancisis. How could I forget?
Yeah, our most good segment.
Okay, so the first one, the motto for Blue Shadow Virus is "Fear is a disease. Hope is the only cure."
Yeah, which I feel would have been a better motto for Mystery of a Thousand Moons.
Yeah, because this episode doesn't deal with a cure.
Yes, and also no one really gets the virus.
Yeah. They get the virus later.
The virus. Yeah. But not a bad phrase in itself, but probably not really too deep either.
Yeah, and then linking on with the hope sentiment, the next episode's one is "A single chance is a galaxy of hope."
It took me a while to wrap my brain around it. Not sure if that was because of a lack of sleep or because it's a weirdly phrased thing.
I think it's terribly phrased.
Yeah.
Because, like, what? A single chance is a galaxy of hope. A chance of what? Cloudy with a chance of meatballs?
I think that the point is that, like, if there is a chance that something will go right, that is enough hope for a whole galaxy.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
Yes. I think that a better way to phrase it would be like a spark of chance is a star of hope or something like that.
Oof.
Because like a tiny chance is a lot of hope is basically what it's trying to say. But it's just weird.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of this one. I don't think it's good.
Yeah, I feel like on the pile of things that we don't love about this two-parter, the mottos are some of the worst.
Yeah, because it's just like dumb.
Yeah, I feel like this one is like literally the worst motto we've had so far. At the very least, while we've been having this segment.
Yeah, I agree actually, and And later on, I'm pretty sure later episodes have much better mottos.
You keep saying that. We will see when we get to them. Well, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it.
Yeah.
But now,
are we crossing another bridge?
we are crossing another bridge, a bridge that takes us to the light side, and the dark, and the one in the middle.
The Bendu.
The Vindy.
The Vindy. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
did you have a light side for this two-parter, Freddy?
I did, and for once I wrote them down.
Nice.
So, my light side is that it's actually from Mystery of a Thousand Moons.
Ah, fun. Oh,
Yeah.
do tell.
So I quite like that the consequences of all of these like assaults on separatist bases are actually shown, and that's in the form of the cleanup. So at the end of Blue Shadow Virus, they win, basically. They took over the base, they killed all the droids, and they're like, let's go home. But then at the start of Mystery of a Thousand Moons, it's like it establishes that once you've done like the main battle in the base, you've still got to make sure there's not like loads of droids walking about, because this is a big base.
Yeah. And things that can blow up. As we see, they wheel out their pyrotechnic clones in their cool orange armor.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
So I just thought it was interesting to see, like, that they have to do more things. Like, it's not just like over and done with.
It's not just shooty, point gun equals win.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's why it's so much deeper than the Clone Wars 2003. I'm kidding. I really don't care. I really do not care.
It's more nuanced.
Yeah, they're very different shows, and that's completely fine.
Indeed.
Yeah, and it reminded me, in a sense, of the end of Hot Fuzz. How
They have to do the paperwork.
the scene where they do all the paperwork, and it's shown that it's taking them hours upon hours to do it.
Yeah.
How that was praised for being one of the most true-to-life scenes in any movie.
Yeah, I imagine if there was an episode when they also had... Well, not an episode, but they ended by having to file the mission report.
Yeah.
That would be funny.
I'm imagining Rex just shooting the datapad instead or something. I don't know.
I feel like Vex would do it.
Yeah, probably not Rex.
Yeah.
Probably just Anakin.
Yeah.
It would be like, Ahsoka, deal with it.
Ahsoka, you do it, yeah.
Yeah.
So, what is your light side?
Funnily enough, my light side is also from Mystery of a Thousand Moons.
That is funnily enough.
Yeah, but it is very, very minor. Skekko minor, if you will.
Ooh.
I really like the bit when they're approaching Iago.
Yes.
And
that was a good
Obi-Wan
one.
says, it looks like a graveyard of ships. But he pointedly adds the of ships just as you see a body float in front of the ship.
Yeah, so it can be for kids still.
Yes, but that dead body is there.
Yeah.
It's just so weird.
You
Actually,
don't
you know
see
what?
that in Star Wars.
I'm just going to pull a tiny little switcheroo. Let's consider this my one in the middle because it's not that big. What I really want to be my highlight is Dr. Vindy. He was so fun.
Yeah. You gotta love the yeah man.
Gotta love the mad scientist.
Yeah.
Gotta love the person who wanted to eradicate all life just so a virus could be brought back.
Yeah, literally. I think it's a shame that we never see him ever again. So
Yeah. Well, he could be brought back in Bad Batch or something.
yeah, maybe they
Yeah.
have to free him
Maybe.
to cause.
Maybe he's hiding among the Kaminoans. Just put on a little bit of makeup.
Yeah, elongate his neck.
He doesn't even have to that much. He's already hella tall.
Yeah,
He's more than 2 meters tall.
He does have a long neck, but he also has a long body.
Yeah.
That's the only thing.
Well, maybe he and Ventress can form like a pair that kind of people who kind of look like Kaminoans but are not. And at least we do know that Ventress was hiding on Kamino.
That is true, possibly at this moment.
Possibly. Well, we don't know when this is.
No, we should probably check the chronological thing at some point.
Because we do know that when Rookies takes place is not when this takes place.
Yes.
Although, wait, no, was she hiding on Camino during Rookies, or
yes,
was that somewhere else?
She was hiding on Camino during Rookies.
Okay.
So,
for whatever reason, I thought it was in Downfall of a Droid.
No, I don't think so.
Huh.
I don't know. It's kind of a bit confusing.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a good light side. You gotta love Vindy.
Yeah. We would be remiss if we didn't even mention him, because he was the highlight of those episodes for me, definitely. Anywho, speaking of highlights, what was decidedly not that for you?
Even though we spoke about it, it is just completely removing the nuance of Jar Jar and just making him into a comic relief character. I think that was really, really saddening. And he deserves better. And I never thought I would ever say that about Jar Jar.
Yeah, we've talked about how Ahmed Best deserves better, which is 100% true and always was.
Definitely.
But Jar Jar as a character also deserves better.
Yeah, because as we've said, but as I'll say again, in Bombad Jedi and Gungan General, Jar Jar is actually shown to have skills, have use, and have some interesting nuance to him. And these episodes, well, especially Mystery of a Thousand Moons, sort of just remove any kind of skill set he may have or any kind of competence he may have. Instead of how in Gungan General, when it sort of implies that his bumbling stupidity is actually just to fool people in order to actually do his competent thing. With the tank.
Yeah.
When he hijacked the tank in Gungan General. You don't get any of that in these episodes. In Mystery of a Thousand Moons, he quite literally just smashes Padme's thing.
Literally all he does in that episode is bumble and try not to fall over.
Yeah, exactly. It's just kind of annoying.
Yeah. It's not even the difference between Jack Sparrow in the first movie and Jack Sparrow in the last movie. It's more the difference between Jack Sparrow in the first movie and a rugby lad who drinks far too much beer and can't even walk straight.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. Sorry if you're a rugby lad. If you're a rugby lad who listens to Air-Deraan, you're a cool one.
If you listen to it on Air-Deraan, you're a cool one.
Yeah, whoever you are, if you listen to us, you're cool. It's like a secret prerequisite to get into heaven. Buying WinRAR and listening to on Air-Deraan.
Those are the main two things.
Yeah, the only two things you need to do and you will go to heaven. No strings attached.
You hear that, Vindy?
Like that Natalie Portman movie.
I have not seen.
It's, I think, her and Ashton Kutcher are playing friends with benefits sort of a deal.
Oh.
Yeah. Racy.
Anakin's not too happy?
Probably not.
Talking about not too happy, what is your dark side?
My dark side is once again something that we've touched upon, and it's that whole Angels deal.
Yeah.
That scene, what even was it? What was the purpose? Why go to Iago if the only thing with Angels we're going to see is the worst written scene in, Star Wars history?
Yeah. It's like going to Dathomir and not seeing any Night Sister stuff.
Worse than that, because, at least there's probably... It's like going to Onderon and seeing, and maybe, in the background, you see that the atmosphere of Onderon and Duxun are merging, and something is flying through it, but then it cuts away, and when you cut back to it, it's gone.
Oh, that would suck.
Yeah.
That would really subvert my expectations.
That would subvert my expectations of, films having like what is it called, like spatial continuity.
Oh yeah.
You know, like the things that babies don't have.
Yeah.
Object permanence.
Object permanence. There was an Onion sketch. It was like, millennials do not have object permanence. It's like, it's quite funny.
All kids born after 2020 don't have spatial permanence and don't buy any housing. What's going on?
What's happening?
Literally, everyone born after 2020 doesn't have a job.
That is true.
What's wrong with this generation?
I do 100% agree with you that they should have given the Angel of Iago a job in this episode.
Make that angel do literally anything.
Yeah.
Why wasn't it the angel who showed them where their roots were?
And also, if Anakin has heard stories about these angels from Iago, but from all these spaces, and like, he doesn't care.
Yeah. You know what would be even better?
What?
If Dr. Vindy was an angel.
Whoa, that would be
that was why they went to Iago, because if he's from there and Blue Shadow virus is from there, maybe that's where the cure is.
I don't know. I think that would turn it too much on its head.
Maybe. Probably too much for like a kid's show.
Yeah.
To like have evil angels.
You can't subvert things too much, because otherwise you'll have is it Strax from Doctor Who situation?
Strax?
Like, what is he the one?
The butler.
Yeah, it's like how now they can never really use Sontarans as bad guys ever again, because people have become accustomed to him being a good guy.
And an idiot, yeah.
Yeah, so they can't really use them as a threatening villain. And it's like how if you have the angels who are meant to be good and like pure or whatever be bad in their only appearance, then that's going to kind of skew. I don't know.
I wonder if the reason why angels never come again is because of like the religious implications of angels existing, and they didn't really want to touch that ever again because maybe someone complained.
They didn't even necessarily have to include them in this episode though, because I mean, I always thought like hardly anyone has seen these angels, and I thought that was the point. And by showing them and then not drawing attention to them, it's like, I don't know. Stupid.
Well, no, the scene is definitely made in a way that implies that they're a big deal.
Yeah.
But they're not. No one talks about them. They never come back. We don't learn their name.
Is it
why
like
they exist.
When Jimmy Smits walks into the conference room in Rogue One?
No, because we at least know who he is.
Yeah, but I mean for people who don't know...
I know what that is!
But I mean for people who don't know who Bail Organa is. They're like, who's that guy? Where's the music welling up?
Yes, but why is it important that he's going to Alderaan? But at least with
because he's
Jimmy
going to watch
Smits,
our episode of the podcast.
But, indeed. At least with Jimmy Smith, we can look up who he is. You literally can't look up who the Diathym refugee is. Literally, all that their Wikipedia page says is that they might be a Diathym refugee, and the plot of this episode.
Oh, I hate it. Oh, I know we said last week, but I hate it when they just recite the plot.
Yeah, and they claim that it's the biography.
Yeah, it just annoys me so much.
And the page even says a lot of this is conjecture.
That's so annoying.
Yeah. Just don't put them in there if you're not going to do anything with them ever. Yeah. Please, Dave Filoni, save us.
Yeah, you were the chosen one. Oh, well.
Yeah. Oh, well. Anyway, that's enough about my dark side. That scene was badly written in many ways anyway. What about your one in the middle? The Bendu.
Well, my one in the middle, the
Bendu,
is all the remodeling they did for these episodes, this arc. Because, I mean, they remodeled all, like, Padme, Ahsoka, and all of the clones for when they got infected with Blue Shadow virus. They didn't need to do that.
Yeah, they definitely did reskin them. They did look quite cool.
They looked quite cool, like with all like the veiny stuff. And I was like, that's a cool effect. I'm like, and it's really neat that they did that. And like with the Bomb Squad clones, they didn't need to remodel a new type of clone trooper.
Yeah, they did put some effort into this. Just a shame that it didn't really come together.
As I said, I still think Blue Shadow virus, like that episode, is I would say that's good.
Yeah, the first part definitely is good.
And so I think as a whole, the arc is alright.
Yeah, I think it's literally just not even all of Iago. Like,
I don't think Mission of a Thousand Moons is bad though. That's the thing.
it had some of the worst writing.
Yeah.
But yeah, like a bunch of it is fine. Like, and everything that happens on Naboo in that episode is at least fine, other than Jar Jar.
Exactly. But like, there's a lot of modeling and remodeling and retexturing that they did that I thought was just like, it's pretty neat that they bothered to do it.
Yeah, and the mist effects on the Blue Shadow virus looks very neat.
Yeah,
especially let's not forget that this was made in 2008.
That's true. Yeah, and as we all know, that's how viruses look like, traveling through the air.
That's how viruses look like and work.
Yes. But yeah, I'm happy that they bothered. Well, they could be bothered.
Yeah. So, I'm happy that they did at least something.
Yeah, exactly.
And anything else?
No, that's pretty much it. And your one in the middle, the Bendu.
The Bendu. Well, even though I've already said that I was switching my original thing with the one in the middle, the Bendu, I'm going to do another switcheroo and just nix that whole comment. Let's pretend I never said it and that we never had shared a laugh about it.
Okay.
My one in the middle is going to be like another part of Dr. Vindy, and it's his origin. At least the origin of his design.
Of his design?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Because his design, couple interesting things, was originally made by an artist who normally does landscapes.
Really?
But it wasn't for this episode.
Ooh.
His design was made for episode 2, Attack of the Clones.
Really?
Not for Dr. Vindy specifically, the movie. It was just some sort of a alien astronaut, but that was the design. And George Lucas specifically handed this design to the production team to make Dr. Vindy that design.
I think it works really well. I think that's good choosing on George Lucas's behalf, because I think the design for Dr. Vindy completely fits the character and also the tone of the episode.
Yeah,
because it's got like,
he looks evil as hell.
Yeah, and it's got like the 50s helmet as well.
Mm-hmm.
You know, with the big glass thing.
Yeah,
and it fits
kind
well,
of like the one that Obi-Wan had in Dooku Captured.
I think it was. Yeah, Dooku Captured. Yeah, I like that kind of effect, that kind of style. I think it works well. That's really cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I did very much enjoy that. Also, he has double eyelids, which I didn't pick up on, but apparently he does.
He has double what? Sorry, I missed that.
Double eyelids.
I'm looking at his face right now, and yeah, he kind of does. Is that like the darkness around his eyes? Is that like his skin?
The red bits. Yeah. I am unsure. To be honest, I don't necessarily know. I really don't know. Maybe that instead of like his top eyelid going down over most of his eye, I think it looks more like he's squinting when he blinks.
Yeah.
I'm not sure though. I'm trying to find him in the footage, and I'm not having much luck. But in like behind the scenes, they do say that he has double eyelids, which is meant to make him look even more alien.
Yeah. It's cool though, it works.
He looks freaking great.
Yeah, and Dr. Vindy was previously a medic for the Parma families as well. That was his origin in universe.
And then he disappeared for 10 years.
Yeah, ooh, spooky.
For mysterious reasons to a mysterious place.
Yeah.
And then he disappeared into a Republic prison until Director Krennic said, how about we exchange them for bloody the Ursos? But I do not remember if they ended up going through with it or not.
Yeah, it wasn't on the Wikipedia page, I don't think, so it might not have.
Yeah, no.
All interesting now.
Indeed it is. Also that it was Director Krennic specifically.
Yeah, Dr. Krennic mentioned Dr. Vindy.
And Lock Durd.
Yeah. The two characters worked on bioweapons.
Yeah. Imagine if Look Dirt and Dr. Vindy collaborated on something.
Oh, that would... The galaxy wouldn't be in too good of a shape. What if that's episode 10 of Star Wars?
Whoa. Well, no, that already exists, as we've established a few times.
Oh, yeah.
Blue Bantha verse is canon.
Obviously canon. Well, actually, apart from the Ahsoka stuff.
Apart from the Ahsoka stuff, but Boba Fett always eating chicken is canon in my heart, at least. That's what happens in Solo too.
Yeah. Is that
Boba Fett slowly eats chicken.
Slowly.
It happens oddly often.
Oh my god damn it.
Yeah. It's good. Watch it, everyone.
Yeah.
When you get time, Freddy. And you who listens to it, you obviously have nothing but time, so go watch the Blue Bantha podcast and watch a Solo 2 and Star Wars Episode 10.
And while you're on YouTube, watch our other videos there.
Yeah, we have at least 3 things that we put on our YouTube that aren't in podcast form.
Being the...
Well, 2 of which being excerpts from the podcast, but 1 of which is completely original.
Yeah, which actually is the first episode put on the channel. Our first video put on the channel, rather.
Indeed. So, one of the very first things that we did.
That is true.
I say we. That was like 99% Freddy. I just exported the video.
Yeah, I was unable to export it, so vital.
Indeed. Well, unable to export it without a watermark.
Yeah, because you have the official thing.
Yeah, but the point being, our YouTube is on space Air-Deraan. Go watch it there. Our podcasts also go there with very, very pretty thumbnails.
Totally not
made
cursed.
By Freddy. Some of them are a little cursed. And by some, I mean about 23 out of the 23 that you've made. Well, 23 out of 26, rather.
Yeah.
And also, go freaking talk to us on Twitter.
At
Air-Deraan, all one word. Or send us an email to onairderaan, all one word, at gmail.com. Or just buddy in the comments of YouTube. And if you meet us in the streets,
don't say hi. That's creepy.
I don't like attention. I would probably be very awkward if you walked up to me on the street. Unless we're already friends.
Including if you're friends. Go away.
Yeah, leave us alone. Let us stay in our quarantine that we're definitely not in.
Yeah, we're scared of Blue Shadow virus, so...
Yeah, I feel like we should just refer to Corona as the Blue Shadow virus from now on.
What, in the podcast, whenever we have to talk about it?
No, in real life.
Ooh.
Well, both.
Yeah, both is good.
Both is good. And, anyway, that was today, I think.
Yeah, that was today.
Catch us next week when we do our last episode of Clone Chronicles for a little while.
Which is the Ryloth arc.
Yeah, which is going to be pretty cool from memory.
That should be fun.
Yeah, and then we're going to be making bad content for however long it needs to be.
That is
true.
Sorry,
bad batch content.
Bad batch.
It's bad, in parentheses, batch content.
Yes. Which should be fun.
Saying that aloud kind of makes me die inside a little bit.
Saying anything that we've made out loud has that effect.
Yeah. Lucky that we're only dying on the inside.
Yeah. Because, or do we smell that way on the outside as well?
You may fire when ready.
And I thought I felt dead on the inside.